G'day beautiful people, welcome back. Today is something a little bit different. It's kind of a response video, I guess. A fellow by the name of Baby Spine recently released in the last few days a video called My Thoughts on Paragon 2, which I'm soaking up as much Paragon 2 video type deals as I can because I love Paragon and I really want to play another Paragon. So I'm interested in hearing everyone's opinions. However, I feel that that video was poorly labeled because it wasn't really my thoughts on Paragon 2 video. It was, and it should be labeled, I'm salty as fuck about the fact that Paragon 2 won't immediately or at all be on PlayStation Network, and I don't understand how the certification process works. The reason I say this is, it's not that simple. Actually, first of all, I appreciate anyone that is watching this video. I love your face. I don't mean any disrespect by anything that I'm going to say, but there's going to be things that I am going to say that are potentially going to be offensive, because I'm going to call out the fact that you're making opinions based on an improper understanding of how things work, or a lack of understanding on how things work. Okay? So, the problem, there was some good points in the video, I will be honest. There was good points about how crossplay is not a good idea. The only problem I have with that is that it probably wouldn't survive on PC if they didn't have console players to fill up all the lobbies. I do agree that there is a distinct hardware advantage on PC. There is an aiming advantage on PC. Whoops, excuse me. But apart from that, the rest of the video is pretty much just, and from the looks of the comment section as well, it's pretty much just, if it's not on PS4, your game's gonna die. Like, that is a very, very blunt way to put it, but that's what I get from everything there, from everything that was said and everything that was written. A lot of the PS4 community seems to be in agreement that if it doesn't come out on PlayStation, then you got a problem. Your game's not going to do well because it's not going to get supported. That is a big problem. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something that they can do anything about. When it comes to creating a game on PC versus creating a game on PlayStation, they're completely different kettles of fish, okay? When it comes to PC, it is a PC gamer's responsibility to ensure their own security, okay? So, someone creates a game on PC. Let's say, for example, with Paragon 2, I'm assuming it's not going to come out on Steam. They're probably going to have to create their own launcher or something like that. Who knows? They might get out on Steam. Who knows? It's definitely not going to be on the Epic launcher. So they're going to have their own way of launching the game. So they've got to create a game, create an executable, and get it on the internet. There's no real scrutiny. Well, there probably is, but compared to PlayStation, there's no real scrutiny as to what they can and can't upload. So it is your responsibility as a PC gamer to ensure your own security. When it comes to PSN, it is Sony's responsibility to ensure the security of every single console that has ever been sold. Okay? Everyone that is connected to the PSN, it is Sony's responsibility to protect your security. Okay? So there are stringent guidelines that have to be adhered to. There is a certification process that has to be done. And if you don't pass that certification, then your game just doesn't go up. There's also other issues that they have. The first issue that they have is that, well, obviously they're not going to call it Paragon 2. I think that anyone that needs clarification that the game's not going to be called Paragon 2 is a bit of a dummy. My apologies, but come on. You can't just create something that's a spiritual sequel to another game, an intellectual property that someone owns, and then call it that thing number 2. That's not how the world works. That's copyright, pretty much. So, but still, even though it's not going to be called Paragon 2, it needs to get put up on the PSN, and PSN will know that it's a spiritual sequel to Paragon, which was made by a different company, and they can actually just decide to say, no, it's not going on PSN. Alright, let's say that it does get, it is going to be allowed to be on PSN. There's a bunch of things that need to be done, okay? And I'm not completely up to date with what the certification process is for new games. I was, like, back in 2013, but I'm assuming a lot of stuff has changed. There was talk of a lot of things changing, but I think most of that was patching, making patching a little bit easier, which we'll get onto in a moment. But when it comes to a new game, it has to have trophies. It has to have proof of controls. You know, it has to be playable for PSN to use. I believe at a certain point, I don't know if this is still true, but it has to have remote play, the ability to use remote play. There was a point when that was a thing. Obviously with indie games, Sony are very good with indie games and they try to get as many up as they can, but I don't really think they fall into that category, considering the fact that they're remaking a game that someone already made. But when it comes to patches, like I said, I play a bit of Warframe. Haven't actually played in a bit, but I love the game. And when it comes to new content in the way of patches, PlayStation has to wait at least like a week to 2 weeks, because the certification process for patching is generally about 2 weeks. Okay, so new content comes out on PC, a couple of weeks later, consoles get it. That is not because Digital Extremes, the creators of Warframe, hate PlayStation and, you know, just like, ugh, we'll get the PlayStation patch done when we get it done. It's done at the same time that it's done on PC. But that doesn't mean the patch is going to be out on PSN, because PSN have to sit there and they need to run that patch against a bunch of different scenarios to ensure that there's A, nothing malicious there, and B, that it's not going to inadvertently break something. Okay, because it's their job to ensure your security. It's not like you're on PC and you just get, fuck it, I'll just download it. Who cares? It breaks me computer, That's your problem. Okay? You know, Sony is a massive company that is ensuring your security, and they'll do everything they can to ensure that what they put on PSN works well. Okay, so it takes a while, and that's just for a patch. A patch can take 2 weeks to pass certification. This is a brand new game. Okay, now I'm not I'm not 100% defending the Unleashed for any reason whatsoever. I do not know them. I have not spoken to them. You know, I just think this is a ridiculous topic. This is a brand new game. It's not a patch. It's going to take at least 2 weeks, maybe longer. It might be a month. It might be 2 months. You don't know. I don't even know how long the certification process is for a brand new game. And it's very evident that Mr. Baby Spine, you haven't even taken into consideration the certification process, let alone even have any sort of understanding that's as much as what I do, or even more so. Like, it doesn't even sound like you're taking that into consideration. It's just needs to be on PSN. Needs to be on PSN. I want to download it tomorrow. I want the game there. I want to download it tomorrow. Doesn't work like that, bud. So just keep that in mind. Like, I know that I've probably offended a lot of people, but come on. There are things that we don't understand in life. And when you don't understand something and you argue till you're black and blue in the face that something's stupid when you don't fully understand it, what happens is that you end up sounding like an idiot. Okay? It's not something that you should do. You should, like, if you're going to make an argument about, you know, whether this game should come out on PlayStation first, or whether it should come out on PlayStation or PC at all, whether it should come out on Xbox at all, you should actually do some research and find out what is involved in making that happen before you make the opinion that the developers are shit because they won't give you a certain time, and that seems to be the issue, that they're not giving a certain time. It's not that that people don't believe that it will come out on PlayStation. I think everyone believes it'll come out on PlayStation, but the issue is that Unleashed aren't actually giving us a date when it comes out. But just remember that if they put it up for certification, A, they're not guaranteed that it'll get approved at all, and B, there is no guarantee on how long that's going to take. There's no guarantee, and it's going to be at least 2 weeks. It's probably going to be a month. It might be 2 months. It might be 3 months. You know, they might just say no. That's not Unleashed's fault. Okay, you can't harass someone about something that is out of their hands. Okay, you can't harass me for the state of a third world country when I live in Australia. You can't hassle me for the things that go on in another country when I live in Australia. That's not my fucking business, okay? I don't control that shit. You can't hassle me for it, okay? You can hassle me on my opinion about it, but you can't actually hassle me about how it's happening. If you have a problem, maybe try to start a petition to make sure that the game does pass certification. Let Sony know how many people are actually interested in this being a thing. If this community is as in love with Paragon as we all say that we are, how about we all stop whinging and actually do something about it? You know, maybe get in touch with Sony. Let them know that you want this game. Maybe get in touch with Unleashed Games and actually ask them questions. Don't just sit there and complain about things that you have no idea about. At the very least, learn about those things so that you can create a valid argument instead of just hearsay and conjecture. Okay? So once again, I apologize for any offense. I know that I've definitely offended someone, and I do apologize for it. It was obviously intentional, but you know, I don't want to offend you. It's just that this is unfortunately a thing that people think, and it's not okay to, you know, have this opinion that Unleashed are fucking D-bags because they're not bringing it out on PSN, or because they won't tell us when it's coming out on PSN, because you don't understand why they're not saying that. You know, they have no idea. It's like when you go to a doctor, and you would ask, how long do I have to live, doc? You know, they're probably going to tell you less time than what you actually have, because they don't want to get your hopes up. Unleashed don't want to get people's hopes up and, you know, go off of a baseline of how long it takes for a game to get approved on PSN, because then when it doesn't happen, shit would get mental. Freaking mental. People would be up in arms. There'd be death threats. Come on, you can't do that. They won't do that. Okay, so when they know if and when it's going to be on PSN, I am positive that they will let us know, because they're not dumb. They know that the vast majority of Paragon players were on PSN. I am quite adamant that they know that. So just give them a fair go, okay? Try to, maybe if you want it to happen, maybe try just supporting them in any way that you can, instead of harassing them about the things that you don't understand, okay? But that's it, guys. I hope that there's someone that enjoyed this video. Whether you were offended or not, I hope that it was you know, thought-provoking and maybe a little bit informative. But mostly, I thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. There will, as I said, once these games are a thing, be some spiritual Paragon 2 content on my channel. Until then, more shit Minecraft and Oxygen Not Included for you to suffer through. But yeah, I love your face. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.